Hi, April. Oh, wow. I think I'll keep my mask on.
Ah, it sucks.
Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah. Ay, caramba.
Hank,
We're at the kennel together.
Um,
your neighbor tells me that Hank is really well trained these days.
Really? Well, he doesn't try to attack, what's his face?
Stanley.
Stanley. Stanley wants to kill him.
Well, Manny was telling me, he said, you've been doing a great job training. He said, I can't believe what April's doing. Manny's impressed.
You know what happened? He was in the kennel with our dog, and our dog told Hank he better behave. So there you have it.
Because she does. And if you need any wood and kindling, Peg's dog is a great collector of kindling or
Yeah.
stumps.
Wow.
Sometimes it's big. We have one log in our yard that's probably, it's still there, almost 4 feet long, 3.5 to 4 feet long. Diameter is about 6 inches. She
Jeez.
carried it all the way home.
Wow.
She's a not a golden retriever, a yellow lab.
wow.
Wow.
Carry stuff into the yard. We have a whole collection of anything you might want to burn. Roots and stumps and everything else. Yeah, we do.
She is the sharpest tool in the shed.
So
do we
should
do?
should I be trying to track down either Melissa or Melody? Did either of them? let you-
Melody said she was starting a new job and she didn't know.
Right, that's right.
And I
Melissa?
don't know, I didn't hear anything one way or the other from Melissa.
I'll just text her. I know she worked, but it's 6:30, so.
Yeah.
Well,
6:30.
and the thing that really helps in training Hank is sliced roast beef in my pocket.
Wow.
Yes.
It works with Alan.
Yeah.
How old is Hank? April.
He's 9.
Oh, well, he might be a little beyond training.
Yes.
Fine the way he is.
What's that about old dogs?
Yeah,
What's that saying?
that's us.
Yeah.
I'm hitting 70 this month. Oh, yeah.
Wow, April,
Ooh.
congratulations.
Ooh, I've been there for quite a while.
Doing great for 70. You're still out there putting on the miles on the trails, right? All
Not
right.
running. I don't run.
Well, since you had the surgery, right?
Well, I've got arthritis in my feet now, so it's like, it's
What
just,
about is your other hip fine, April? Is your other
yeah,
hip?
it's been fine.
That's good.
Who knows? It's the rest of me.
How was Puerto Rico?
Oh, it was awesome. It was also, it was really warm. It was nice beaches, good. It's just beautiful.
I thought you
It
were
is
in the
beautiful.
mountains.
We did. We spent the first part in Jayuya, which is a little town in the center, and that was phenomenal. That felt like South America. You know,
Yeah.
language, English really wasn't spoken there, and Alan is fluent, so that helped. And it's just, talking to people about how they survived Hurricane Maria. I mean, it makes our ice storm look easy.
Right.
It was, a year without electricity, but
I remember
neighbors
flying
came
into
together.
I remember flying into San Juan. You could see blue tarps on roofs everywhere.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When did you
In
fly into?
Calabria too.
Yeah. You
When we were
like,
in Calabria, they were running off of generators. The whole island was running on generators.
wow, you were there for vacation on generators?
Yeah, but they had was 2 big tractor trailers, and they parked them by the elementary school, and they just had generators in them, and they electrified the whole island. and they were running on diesel. That's how they were electrifying the island. That
Wow.
was a year after Maria. Marty and I, we've been to Calabria a number of times. That's where we go when we go to Puerto Rico.
We're over in Vieques. We've
Yeah,
been,
Vieques is nice. Yeah, I've heard great things.
I tried the Highlands sometime. Jayuya is, there's just a whole different world up there.
Yeah, we've flown over them. When you take the flight over, the little puddle jumpers, when you take those, you can see the rainforest. You can see the clouds and the peaks, and it's all lush.
Oh, it's beautiful.
We met somebody who had a coffee plantation up there, and talked to him briefly.
Yes, Becky.
I can't get through to Melissa or, so Melody, we don't know about, but I think we have a quorum.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think we
I
should.
hate to interrupt George.
That's right.
Let's call this meeting to order. All those in favor?
Overnight aside.
Stein Eye.
Ross, aye. Okay,
So, what does the agenda say?
The minutes.
This was an impromptu meeting specifically for the librarian situation, right?
The classification and their market alignment.
okay. Why don't we go over, let's see about the minutes first and approve those. I read over them and I make a motion to approve the minutes as recorded.
I second that.
Ross, aye.
Overnight aside.
Stein Eye.
Okay,
Or Einstein.
Oh, very good.
okay.
So it's April already. Wow.
Yeah. So Becky, what were you saying that the issues were?
Okay, so George, do you wanna, I think what we haven't, so I'll show you what I have to start.
Well,
Yeah, the screen.
Then we
Yeah.
can look at, I'll screen share.
I'm gonna turn on the light. I'll be right back.
And George, I had done the assessor at the 2578 intentionally. Just because,
Make a difference.
but anyway, that's another discussion.
yeah, we can talk. Becky, would you have time after this meeting? I won't keep you long, but I did want to show you the OPEB schedule, so we could talk about those two things.
That'd be great.
And I'll be quick, I promise. I won't keep you.
That'd be great. So Peg, this is the other backbone piece of our wage, our wage determination. These two unmarked columns, I should label. This is the market alignment number, and this is FY 2021 and FY 22 that I wrote in. So these two columns I added to the schedule. And just to give you a better picture, how can I share this one? Stop sharing, and I'm going to share this one. I hope it's the right one. Just to give you a sense. So Peg, this was for FY 22. So what I've been having to do is take the percentage COLAs from every year, cost of living, this is 0.0175, and plug it into our grade and step chart. This was revised by Ralph and Jim Walton about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have is, we have grade 5, custodians and groundskeeper. We have all the clerks are grade 6. Grade 7 is our police officers and equipment operator. The police officers are under contract. And you'll notice in FY 22, the starting wage was higher for police officers. And then people fall in different places on the chart.
What do you, can I ask, wait, can I stop on the police officers? You said it was higher in FY '22, it was higher than,
The equipment
Then
operators were also
equipment
the same.
operators.
okay.
And this we need to get out of here because, so the
Even though,
issue, go ahead, George.
I was gonna say, even though they're grade 7, because they're under contract, they've negotiated a different rate than our grade 7.
Right. Okay, so that's the general picture, the layout. So when we finished the market alignment, I had to go take all our market alignment calculations and make sense of them in this chart. So and this is the thing, it's like, if you make this disappear, then you can't screen share anymore.
So Becky, why are you wearing a mask?
Well, because
Oh, that's okay.
I broke my front tooth and it's really hideous. It's really like
Oh, I
snaggled.
see. Sorry.
And when I first saw it without a mask on, when I talked to April, I was like, oh my God, this is too distracting. So and I was wearing my mask because Tim was just at the door right before the meeting started. So
You're handling the pain well.
well, it had broken in 2015, and then I was playing with the dog and the tooth got knocked, and so last Monday it fell out.
Mm.
A third of it fell out. So it's not as painful. I don't know why, because of where the crack is, but I'm going to the dentist on Wednesday.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, because they tried to give me a May 12th appointment. I was like, oh, I can't handle that. So anyway, sorry, too much information, but
Yeah,
that's.
sorry I asked.
Oh, shoot, and I picked up this is not the right thing. Okay, so this is the FY '22. We've had it with that. We'll put that one away. All right, so this is FY '23. I'll share that. Okay. All right, so Peg, to take it to update the chart to the new market alignment, okay, so I started with the starting salary. So first of all, group 8, almost every single person in group 8, except for I think 1 or 2 people. Yeah, all of 6 out of I think 8 people or 7 people all needed a market alignment. So grade 8, what we found with the new upgrades, if you look just in this column, Peg, the low balled outlier is the librarian at $23.44. If you'll notice, that's drastically out of whack with everybody else.
Yes, it is.
And so that came to light, and I reached out to George to talk about it a little bit. And I sent him a copy of what I had tried to put together here. So to just correct the mechanics of the chart, this moved from, what was it?
Wasn't it 21?
It was 2052. So it was $20.52. And I moved it up to 24. I think we could move it down to 23. And that might be a good idea. I just didn't want to make any more changes till the committee was making the decisions. So, but at least here, if we made it 23, it gets closer to the end of the last step. Would you like
Becky,
to? Yeah.
can you change it to 23 right here and so we can see
Yeah.
it? And everything's going to change automatically, right?
Yes, it did.
So now we'll just have,
So now you'll see then we have to also the red no longer indicates the same values as in the market alignment.
Yeah, you
Number.
got to shift the steps for probably everybody.
Yeah. So this would have to, well, the admin assessor, I think what we're doing here is we're making Ellen go all the way out. Okay, so Ellen
Ellen
would,
goes all the way out to 8. The two before her go out to 7, right?
yeah. I'm gonna use blue, just so.
That'll help.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
how do you make the decision? Like if Ellen is 27.65 and the accountant is 57 cents, maybe for the accountant,
you would go here.
well, I guess suppose we should just do the math. I mean, 20,
Well, the reason I didn't,
37 one way.
I know this sounds a little silly, but everyone wants, because Ellen is on year 46, I think everybody's fine with her getting the highest. I
All
know-
right, but you're going to go to the step below typically. The step that has the lower rate than what we have in column B is what you typically do.
Right, and these are only 7 cents apart, so how do you?
Yeah,
Okay,
annually, it's not going to amount to much.
So let's just go with what I was showing you to start with,
Okay.
okay? And so then the librarian, okay, I think the librarian should go here. Because the librarian's been here for 15 years, number one, and number two, April and I have been working through the classifications and we did all the grade 8s, Friday and today, I mean, last week and today. So all the grade 8s, when we did that, the highest by over 100, at least 100, where did we come out?
It was 353.
All right, so we came, the librarian came in at 474, which is, I think, a grade 8,
Almost,
almost a grade 9, right, April?
yeah.
She came in at 474 and a grade 8, grade 9, and the new system goes up to 499.
So 474 is based on the job classification?
Mhm.
Yes, we used all these, we went through all the criteria, the job description. We reconciled, because April and I did them separately and then talked about our differences and reconciled them together. So the highs and the lows kind of balanced each other out.
Makes
Um,
sense.
Good way to do it.
The treasurer is 358. The town collector is 364. The assessor is another one who comes in higher. We haven't reconciled it yet, but we had a 400 and a 500 for the assessor.
Hmm.
And then 389 for the accountant. So there's 2 blips and it's Mary Ann and the assessor that are higher than all the rest. And given that case, plus the fact, I think she's really what the personnel board in the future should really be considering, talking about her being a department head, but we want to finish off all the rest of the job descriptions and have the personnel board look at that, all the rest of the classification numbers for the other 3 department heads and see
So-
where that comes out.
So just so I get the picture here, you both have the new information you were looking for to do the classification analysis, and you did it for the librarian. Did you do it for a lot of positions? Did you do it for just the market alignment positions?
Just the market alignment.
Okay. And
For
what
this-
you found was,
No, I think we did it for, but as far,
We did the assessor, accountant, collector, librarian, clerk, and treasurer.
which are all the grade 8 positions.
Right.
They all the grade 8 positions were involved in the market alignment.
And really, they're the managers. I mean, no, you did the market alignments. I'm sorry, you did the classification analysis for everybody who's a manager level.
Except for people who are in
They're
contract.
professional level. They're like the town.
Yes,
The financial people are all they're
in my mind, they're financial managers, but yes, I understand what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
professional is probably the better way to say it.
Yep. We didn't do
what-
anybody on contract, so we didn't do the town administrator, highway or fire.
Yeah, department
Yeah,
heads.
but we will do that. I won't participate in the town administrator. Melissa's gonna jump in, I think, or
Oh, that'd
who
be
else can do it.
The one other thing I want to say, when I first heard of this, I went back and I looked at our schedule. And first thing I would say is shame on us for not noticing that the librarian was so much lower than all those others.
Right,
Because if you look at it, we gave her like a 4% increase and all the others are getting like 9 and 10. I don't remember the exact numbers. Hers was very small. So shame on us for that. But
So, yeah, go ahead.
I think that was the big point. But in the context of this, I definitely agree that we should have brought her up more. And I believe we're going to have to get approval from the select board and the
yeah.
finance committee.
Yep.
How
Well,
did it happen that she wasn't brought up higher? Can you read?
well, we were
Because
looking
the
at,
averages, by the process that we used, the averages did not indicate a change because all the female librarians are really low paid around the county.
Yeah,
So-
that's true. Becky, I think Becky's got a point there. The average Franklin County is 2368. We brought her up to 2344. So we gave her a 5% increase
Right.
and it brought her just below the average. But in reality, that average is a low average and it doesn't reflect what April and Becky have determined is her value.
well, we also looking at particularly the librarian and the town clerk is that their jobs have really shifted. I mean, it's way more complicated, in terms of, the use of technology that hadn't existed before. So that was part of it, but it's the library assessors, the library board,
Trustees.
those people, yes.
Yeah.
They have to come up with a change. I would like to recommend that they change the librarian's job description. We in the personnel board need to look at the town clerk's job description differently, but they're still all grade 8.
But that doesn't need to happen before town meeting.
No, thank God, no.
And as far as the administrative assessor goes, I think we can let that one go because we gave that a 10% increase.
Yeah.
And it fits in the steps for a grade 8. And I don't know. That's my opinion. I think the library needs to be addressed now. And I think what we can do is bring it back to the others and say, hey, listen, we started doing these classifications analysis and it revealed one glaring problem. And we'd like to resolve it because we know about it now. We'd like to resolve it for FY23.
Yep. Because it fits in with our general philosophy and it's fair.
Okay, and the other issue, when I showed this to George, he said the equipment operator, we have 2 equipment operators, but they're 4 steps apart currently. I think 3 or 4. They're separated by $2 because the one is started last year, and Steve has. Okay, so one started last year, and he's getting paid this year $21.21, and Steve is currently getting paid $23.18.
This
So-
is great. So what you just told me then is when we calculated the increase from the market alignment, we multiplied it times 2. But the reality is we're only given that market alignment adjustment to one of them.
No, because I think the other person needs to go up $2.
You think the other person should be paid what Steve's paid?
No. I think they both have to adjust. I mean, if you increase the base, And some, like, just like, so Steve is currently making 2318. You wouldn't put him back here at 2333 with David, who was making 2121. Right? I mean, that's
You want
not,
to keep the pay differences the same.
yeah, because he's been here over 10 years. So it's not great,
You know,
the way I'm thinking about it.
yeah, you're adding more cost. And that's another one we probably need to get the approval from the other committees because we presented to them the 2323.
Well, the critical piece is we have to figure out how much this will cost in total.
Yeah. Can we do that now?
Yes. Yeah, we can. I'll probably do it on the screen when Becky's watching.
Okay,
Whenever you're ready. But is everything, as soon as we wrap this up, we can do that. I don't know if there's anything else, Becky, but
Becky, can you send me?
yes,
Can
I'm
you
gonna
send-
send you copies of all this once we stop
Yes.
messing with it.
Please, thank
Because
you.
right now, if everybody, okay, so everybody's good with the change of the librarian?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
We need to vote on this?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor of increasing the librarian pay?
all right.
I'm sorry, what?
I was gonna ask, so just tell me specifically what we're doing with the librarian. Bring her to 2592 instead of the 2344 we requested?
Is that the number?
No, I think the librarian should go to 2719.
Oh, right.
Well, where do I see that? Oh, yes, I see that over there.
Yeah.
Because of the years she has.
Well, because of what the classification says, right?
Yep,
Oh, yes.
because of the classification and the time in.
Okay, so shall we try to vote on this now?
Mhm.
Okay,
Did you
so
vote
all the,
Becky, or did you want more discussion? Okay, I'm sorry for interrupting.
that's okay. Do we feel we need more discussion, anybody? April, shake your head.
No, I feel good with this.
Okay, so all those, what?
Yeah, as far as the discussion goes, the only thing I would say is we just need to be able to present this. We're gonna have to sell this.
Yep.
So you
And
have,
we haven't looked at the impact yet, right? I was about to
okay,
show
so
you
let's
that.
look at the impact first. The other
So-
concept I originally had the assessor back at 2592. Because I matched him up with the treasurer, because they started 6 months apart and they've been here for like 3 years.
Mhm.
I don't
But
want to
then
veer too far from the market analysis that we did. I mean, we went through all
I
that work.
agree.
We did all that work.
Screw that up.
And the fact of the matter is he took the job for low pay. So I don't think he's going to get too upset whatever we do.
Right.
Now,
Mhm.
I don't want to take advantage of him, but we went through a lot of hoops to get to this point. So
Well,
I'm
let's
not,
look at the total before you vote. Maybe that's a better approach.
okay. Yeah. Let me know when I can take the screen.
Okay, let's look at the numbers.
I just want to save this first. Oops. I can't save it.
And actually, I got to open the file anyways. Wait. Oh, no, it's here. Okay.
One thing always leads to another thing.
Well, it's like we were looking at it, we had one lens and we hadn't completed this part. And I'm not sure we were aware of what impact it would have. And once you put it into our step chart, it sort of corrected places where we were not accurate.
So you have done, let me get this straight. You have done the classification analysis for those 8 positions that we did the market alignment for. Is that correct?
That's
Okay.
correct.
No, we did the 6 grade 8s. We haven't done the highway operator and the assessor's clerk.
And
Okay.
but they're not grade 8, are they?
Right. No, they're one's grade 7, one's grade 6.
Yeah. No. Who was grade 8? Which one? Neither
Uh,
one.
Neither of those two.
Okay, so we did the all grade 8 positions,
Yes,
the classification for those.
yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a piece of paper.
Okay. Well, April, while you were in Puerto Rico, we were in Arizona. Well, we were in Colorado first, and then in Arizona.
And it was awesome.
It was lovely. It was lovely. It was warm. We were out in the desert hiking, birding, and then up in the Mount Lemon. Has anybody here ever been to Mount Lemon?
No, I haven't.
Pretty amazing. Anyway, it was lovely. It's great. And our kids are good and our grandkids are good. That was the
Wow.
reason we went out there.
Oh, that must have been
Wonderful.
fun.
And our daughter is good too, who's going to have a baby in June,
Awesome.
our youngest. So guess where we're going in June, folks?
You're gonna be there for a while too, I bet.
Yeah, well, I might stay longer than Mike. Mike said he might come back. You know, he'll go out there for a while and then come back.
Yeah, I know how he feels.
Yeah. The fifth wheel at that point, right?
If it wasn't for the driving, I wouldn't be coming to Jersey nearly as often as I do. But Marty really appreciates that I drive it.
Yeah. Yeah, we fly. I mean, we've driven out there a couple times, towing stuff with us to take out to them. But it's a long haul, especially when there's a baby on the way. You know, you can't plan.
You're almost across the whole country. Becky,
Yeah.
can I take the screen?
Yeah. I set you up as co-host at the beginning of the meeting.
Okay. Where am I? All right, so here it is. We all recognize this schedule.
Mhm.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as a new version before I do anything.
Oh, I forgot to write down.
And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to save what we did already so we can compare
Yeah,
the
good.
increases. Yeah, whatever.
My bet is it's gonna add $13,000.
Oh,
Oh
boy.
my gosh.
Well, I'm going to put in a little formula to find out for us. If this
Okay.
works the way I remember it worked. Okay, so we're talking librarian, and we're going to change her to, what did you think her rate should be?
Oh, what was the last one? 27.
19?
Let me just see if I can. That didn't help. All right.
Does that come up to be?
Okay, so librarian, we had, April's right, 2719.
And it was going to be,
There you go. So if we make it 2655 plus the COLA, we're going to get 2719. So I got to do the math because it doesn't do it automatically. Silly me. Bear with me here.
That's
Remember what
okay.
we did. Annual budget increase is now 38. So Becky, it adds about $7,000. 38,965.
Okay, good.
And take the COLA out. And the increase is 31,744.
That adds up.
Oops.
Wow.
All
That's
right.
better. That's better.
I'm guessing here. What's that? All right. Oops.
Cola, you have
Yeah, what are you doing?
right there. It says only it's 0.12.
Oh, wait a second. So I'm doing this longhand, but I got to stop doing this longhand. So
Yeah.
I was guessing and I was not doing a good job of it. So 7221.
Yeah,
So the COLA is 7221.
but that says it's 11. Okay, I won't worry about percentages because they're crazy.
Well, it still is 11% of the total budget because it didn't move that much.
Okay,
That, because
11 for those 3 positions? I mean, those,
11 is for all 8 positions. This number is the COLA. Oh, shoot. Wait, hold on. All right, hold on, bear with. Okay, good. Bear with. 31744. What was this? 717224?
I think that's what it was.
one time it's 7221.
That's what it was. Yep, that's what it was. Okay. So the annual increase when we changed the position, the library's rate is now a total of 38,965. When I took out the COLA, the increase went to 31,744. So basically the difference is the COLA. So that's what I did.
Okay, so now we got to check the highway guys. Because they have 2 different rates.
So one of them is fine.
That one's fine. The other one, where'd it go?
Yeah, Steve's. Is it Steve?
Yeah, where, I just had it here. Can you
It's
guys-
23. That one.
It went to 25. Here we go. Wait a second. Here it is. Steve's went to 2567 from 2318. We
Okay,
could go to 2507, I guess.
bear with 1 second here.
It's
So
probably, we should
the-
go to 2507 maybe.
Why? What is the difference?
Well, we're going from 2318. The other position went from 2121. It went up exactly $2. So Steve is currently at 2318. 2307 is only 9 cents short, and the other is 60 cents more. So it's closer to go to 2507.
So you're saying we should go to 2507.
I don't know. It's up to you guys, but I'm just saying.
I'm not following, Becky.
Okay, so what we're doing is we have a new bottom figure for the highway. So that step 1 is at 2333.
2323?
23,
Becky, is this helpful?
yes. Yes.
So we're looking at this line here.
No, 2333.
And my logic might be wrong. but we can't put them both back at the same. So it took years for Steve to make more than the new guy. He kept getting bounced back to the starting pay. And
Okay.
because of what we were doing, so
Can you remind me what they're getting paid? So we have operator 1 and we got operator 2. What are they currently making?
they're currently making operator 1 is 21.21, operator 2 is 23.18. So actually at 25.07, he's closer to the current alignment. Because it's under just under $2.
Oh, why couldn't we go to here? This wouldn't be so bad either. The difference here is
50 cents off. I think here it's like 90 cents off, a dollar.
right. It's $1.97, and this would be
Yeah, I think that's a dollar 90.
$1.74.
Oh, see, I was comparing 21.21 to 23.18 to keep the same gap as they have now.
No, I understand, and I'm saying, does it have to be exactly the same? If I'm just trying. Yeah. It's kind of a big difference that way too. Not that I don't value Steve. I think Steve is great. But I would think 25.07 is fine. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's fair, and we didn't have to deal with this kind of concept with any other departments.
it's $1,300 lower. So it's not small, you know,
No, but where would,
24 bucks a week.
where is he on the steps? Where should he be?
7. On the steps, he's been here
Yeah.
10 years.
So he should be at 7.
No, because
Seven,
the other people have been here like, that's 46.
You're right. That's right.
Librarians 15, accountants 17 or 18.
Yeah. Yeah,
So you guys are okay with 25.07?
yeah, that seems reasonable. It's an increase, so a $1,700 raise.
Okay, 25.07 is what we said.
Yep.
Yep.
24.48, I think is the one. There we go. All right, so now we got an increase of 42,777.
So why is that showing as being 8,000 compared to 4,000? Because they're both increasing the same from their current number. Because you have your current number over here listed as 21.21, so that should be changed to,
This automatically calculates. You're talking about this number here?
which number?
You said 8,000? You're talking
I'm
about this?
saying that this number, they both say 21.21. We should put what Steve's really getting paid now here.
Oh, yes, I'm happy to do that. So this should be what?
23, sorry. That's the higher
Well, that
number.
changes everything.
Oh, no.
No, that's okay. No, it's fine. No, that's fine. Let's do that.
I'm having trouble finding, oh, it's right here on the chart. 23.18 is what he's currently getting.
I'm just noting what I changed here. All right. Okay, so back to the calculations.
Where are you guys? I lost you. Here you are. Okay,
So
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 when
that
you-
lowers the increase.
yeah,
That's the good news. So now we're at 38. Oops, I lost it.
So now he's getting less of an increase, but it's not that much. It's okay.
38,680.
Oh, so it's actually a decrease from,
Well, not the original, but it's not going to be 13,000 like you were saying. So that's good news. And I'm going to take the COLAs out. I wish this was, I just want to see my headings. Thank you. And when I take the COLAs out, the base portion of the increase is 31,370. Everybody remember
it
that?
actually went down because Steve's went down. $200, $218.
Okay, I'm going to double check these numbers real quick.
Yeah.
So the total change now is 38,680. The COLA portion is 31,370.
What?
The
No.
non-COLA portion, the non-COLA, sorry,
Okay, okay.
right?
The
And then,
proposed.
right, sorry, yeah, I said that backwards. So I can't break it out by individuals anymore because we had changed the starting point here. So I was going to try and show the increase, the 7,511 increase by position, but I really can't do that without doing some extra work, which we're not going to, if you don't mind.
It's okay.
So the one other question is everybody comfortable with where the librarian is? If the one librarian,
It's a huge jump. I mean, now we're giving her a 10,000 raise. Look at the raise and look at the percentage increase from her current 2224. I mean, to me,
it what?
I think it's huge. Now she went from getting the lowest increase to the highest increase.
Mhm.
Actually, no, I take that back. The administrative assessor.
But it's based on generally the average salaries for librarians in the county is generally low. You know, and then when we went through the job classification, that position is a grade 8. So it was being paid closer to what an equipment operator earns, which is a grade 7.
And it was closer to some of our clerks.
Yep.
She was getting what, 23 and they're getting 22? But the other question I have, if we backed it off to 2641,
Based on what rationale?
because the other two are years. You got Gail is like 18 or 19 years and she's at 15 years.
And the collector, of course, is longer.
But the assessor is less.
And the so we have the assessor would have to be moved as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
so
clerk,
assessor would go to 2592 based on wages and years.
You
And
want me to go back to the other schedule?
and the treasurers would have to go back, and the town clerk.
Oh,
no,
dear.
the treasurer is set but if we put the assessor where the town clerk is and then put the librarian at 2655.
There's no 2655. Where is that?
Yeah, I don't see that.
There's a 2641.
My chart doesn't match his chart.
No.
Oh,
But
it doesn't?
No.
maybe we need to
This is the one
define
you sent me today. I didn't change it.
I
what
know,
does
I have a second one. I'm looking at the wrong one.
How does that come at step 4 for the librarian?
right. It's like, how do we define the steps?
Yeah,
It's sort of by year, but it's not.
You know, we did an analysis, we did two analysis. We looked at the market value. We looked at what, I won't even call it the market value. We looked at what people are getting paid in Franklin County to do this job. And then you did the analysis of, to classify the job based on the duties.
Yes.
And you determined that what we had, the 2344 is far too low based on the second analysis we did.
Yep.
First analysis says it's fine. It comes in just slightly below. But when we look at what the
The
person's
chart
response,
you brought up, George, is at 24 and we changed it to $23 an hour. That's the problem. You need to change that to 23 for the starting salary.
just right here,
No, the gray, that
Oh,
one.
you can't see my finger?
I'm pointing, that one.
The starting
I'm glad
salary.
I can't see your finger. I don't want to imagine.
It's the starting salary, the blue column. We changed it from 24 to 23. And
Oh,
here's
right.
the
Okay.
And the rationale,
answers don't match.
Okay,
and that
now they match.
And that rationale is based on what? The starting salary for grade 8 in Shutesbury would be $23 an hour.
And we, you know, again, this is relatively close to what other librarians are getting in our county. But your analysis would indicate that she should be farther up here. So
Right.
the question is how much farther and what's the rationale should we use? I think is what April's asking.
Well,
Becky
it's-
mentioned longevity.
Yeah. Like how do we align the steps and define the steps? You know, because it's not really by year.
We try, it's by a function of time.
Yeah, it's
Because
relative
once-
time.
Once the steps became, you know, because we've had to like chop off from the top and add to the bottom because people tap out, especially if you have a year at 1.5 and then you have 2 years at 3%. It
Yeah.
gets all crazy. So right now, George, do you want me to put mine up that has what we changed?
Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Let me give up the screen.
Okay.
It's yours.
yeah, I'm just not understanding the steps of how we've arrived there.
That's where it's
I've had, because basically the step concept got totally destroyed by this constant changing of COLA. It used to be, but it had to be manageable. So if you ever worked more than 8 years, you were falling off the step. So then we started cutting off at the front end of the step and then having the active part, what we account for steps 1 through 8.
Do you mean that you would take column E and you would adjust it to a higher number and then everybody would shift left to lower steps?
Yes.
Okay. That way you couldn't necessarily say just because somebody's a step 6 doesn't mean they've been working here 6 years.
Right. Because we've got Ellen at 46 years, we've got Leslie at, 30, whatever. But she changed jobs, but still. She's still been a town employee for that long and at a step 6. So she started a little bit higher than she would have. Did we have you totally confused, Peg?
Yeah, for sure. So the steps are based on the classification analysis and the number of years.
The grades are totally determined by the classification analysis. Grades 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Mhm.
We used to have grade 10, but the contracts were all over the place at some point, so they fell off the chart because they were contracts. Because they were way up here and it only went up to here. The steps going across represent different levels of time within a range, but they do not equate to a single year. But people sometimes move from one to the, they move in a single year from one to the other. And then we try to keep at least keep it down to 8 or 10 active steps.
And so what we're trying to do now is reconcile the market analysis that we have done with the grades
Classification.
and our steps. And that's where it's getting, it's another layer of our analysis.
And one that we're gonna have to sell to other departments. I mean, that's what I keep
Why-
thinking is,
Why is the starting salary 23, not 24? I mean, or not 22? I mean, I think that's something we have to justify.
Because grade 7 ends at 22.
Oh, yes.
yeah, those blue ones in the right would all get pushed right off.
Yep.
And we wouldn't have their salaries on here. This grade would be too low.
Yep. But that also means we would be hiring, well, but that makes sense. We're hiring for new positions. If somebody were to leave, that they would be starting at 23 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's not-
Becky had proposed 2719 for the librarian. Then I think we talked her down to 2655. Is that what we did, Becky?
Mm-hmm.
And why, so I'll play devil's advocate and say, why not 2592? Is that too far for what the classification schedule says? It's still a big increase for her.
But I think given the fact it's
$4 increase.
It's too close to our town clerk who has only been here 2 years.
Yep.
It's a good point. And more I mean, town clerk has a lot of responsibility. I know that's true.
Yes.
But the
She
librarian,
doesn't do any supervising. She doesn't have to, she gets volunteers and she manages people. So she does some supervising, but not, she has to bring in all the election workers. But the difference between being basically Mary Ann is a department head, is part of the problem.
Yep.
I see it that way. I definitely agree with that.
So are we putting the town clerk too high a step, being that she's been here for 2 years? I mean, is that something to look at as well?
Well, I don't know. I think, by the way, the town clerk, I think is 2512. She was way down compared to the other towns. I remember that.
Oh, yes.
True. I
And
remember.
other towns were paying, she was way down compared to other towns. So we had to bring her up.
Mhm.
All right. So 2655, I guess, but want to see what 2655 looks like. It's
Yeah.
It'll be like $1,380.
I believe you. $2655. Her pay increase would still be almost $9,000, $8,968, 19.4%, which is close to what we increase the town collector. It's a little more. I'm sorry, the town clerk. she's getting 18.6 versus the 19.4, so.
Mhm. But don't we have to look at the administrative assessor who has been here, what, 3 or 4 years? And is at a step 7?
No, admin assessor is the most he's dramatically underpaid. People are getting paid like $30 an hour.
And this is where the steps start to not align with, the number of years.
Right.
Okay.
Just be aware that the administrative assessor is getting a 23% increase based on our alignment analysis.
Yep.
So, I agree with what you said about where he falls in the
Mhm.
market, but we certainly have made a good adjustment there. The librarian had the smallest increase.
Mhm.
You want me to show you the impact on the screen?
Yep.
Sure.
Where'd it go? Okay, so I changed the librarian to 2593, gets us 2655. That's the right number now, right?
Yes.
Oh, we did. I didn't know you had made the change. Okay.
Yeah, I was doing it while we're talking. So 37,359. Why does it go down?
Because you're paying the librarian less.
Oh, that's right. 37, right, sorry. I knew that.
I
Keep
love
the track, it keeps changing. Okay, so, take out the COLA. And our increases are 30,080. That was the wrong place to do that. Let's try that
Sorry.
again.
Should have said something. I was like, what?
Oh, you were watching going, what's he
I was like,
doing?
whoa.
There we go. All right, that's it. So this is where we are. So we've raised, at the end of the day, we've asked for an additional $6,000 in the FY23 budget.
So what we presented to the FinCom was the lower,
Yes,
okay.
yeah, this is March.
Yeah, that helps.
How do you think that's going to go over, George?
Oh,
Well, there'll be 2 people who will not like it.
always.
No, but do you think the committee, what's your sense of the committee? Because we're asking for another $1,100. So, no, how much?
No, more than
Yeah,
that.
you guys,
190.
Yeah,
This is the new number here,
yeah. So we're asking for,
6190.
Plus.
13,000.
Yeah, that's true.
We
Wait,
had to
113.
correct it. I think,
Well, I'll tell you what.
Why
Yeah, why-
13? It's 31 and 37, correct? Am I missing something there?
when I was imagining it could be as much as 13,
Oh,
because I was
sorry, George. What were you going
I
to
was
say?
adding another 4,000 on top of what Steve was already getting. But we're not going from 21, we're going from 2318. So his, it was actually a reduction, a small reduction.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
how is the finance committee going to react to this? So basically, we have 2 things we want to tell them. We want to tell them that we made a mistake because we had both equipment operators at 2121 when in reality, one of them was $2 more.
Mhm.
And so we have to increase that one even more.
Except it works out to a decrease from what he's making. So we're actually less in the budget.
Oh, right. Okay, that's right.
So that error is a net 200 18 or something.
I'm gonna get those numbers before we meet with the finance committee and have it broken out, how much we saved from the change we made there and how much it costs for the librarian. Okay, and then for the librarian, we did for all the professional positions, a classification analysis, and she comes up way out of whack in comparison to the rest of the professionals in town.
Because she
Um,
was coming in as, not even as a grade 8,
Yes,
and we didn't
we
catch.
might want to have that schedule handy to show the committee. Hopefully they won't ask to see it, but if they do, we probably should have it handy, Becky.
Mhm.
Yep,
I wish Melody was here. I'd like to hear Melody's opinion. It's going to be a fight, like April said, with two people. The rest of them are, they're open-minded and they'll listen to what we have to say. And I'm not sure what they're going to say, but at this point, we just got to find the best way to pitch it and not worry about how they're going to react. We need to just think about what we need to tell them, how we need to couch it so that, I'm putting on my salesman hat right now.
Go for it. It's like the overlay of the market analysis with the actual, after completing the, looking at each grade and putting all of the grade 8 in one category. And the librarian, because women are generally paid less than men, but I don't think that's going to be, that will not fly
No.
very well.
That will not fly.
No, but our librarian job description is a grade 8, and the what we were offering was a grade below that.
Yeah, it came below the chart on the grade 8. And so we can, one of the analysis we did subsequent to the market alignment study was a classification analysis to see how they all our professionals stack up relative to each other. And what we found was the librarian, for the level of responsibility that she has, was still far too low. If you're at that meeting and you want to mention sexism in Franklin County, certainly you can talk about that. But
actually, if that were to come from a man, that might have more clout.
Well,
I'm just saying. Or I might just slap you.
yeah, I like these remote meetings. They're definitely safer.
and the fact is, and the assessor might,
It'll hurt your brand, by the way.
What?
I said it'll hurt April's brand
Oh,
if she
yes,
slaps me.
That's right.
I
I'll have
think
to resign.
she's actually coming in as a grade 9.
Yeah, this is, at the back of my head is saying, there's an inconsistency with the assessor's position by having that position, which is generally a male, at a higher step. Because it's, I think that reflects a different kind.
I wouldn't use sexism on the assessor because we have had male assessors for quite a long time.
Right.
20 years.
Right.
He was just too easygoing and he never asked for more money.
He's doing it for a hobby, from what I can tell. He's retired, or was.
Oh, I'm talking about, it was Ken that lowballed. Right? Kevin, no.
No, he's not.
He knows it's a very low salary. He's currently making over $30 an hour at his full-time job.
Yeah, Mendon.
Yeah, and he just got promoted, so it might be like more.
I think, Becky, your point is definitely one worth bringing up in the meeting. That is, we're asking to bring her up to 2592, but the classification analysis really indicates that she should be a grade 9. And
yes,
which at the first step is $1.50 more than what we're actually suggesting here.
but we haven't.
And we don't even actually have a town grade 9.
Nobody else is on that.
This is the police. Yeah, we hadn't.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
Well, we got to be careful because then people are going to start questioning our classification analysis, because I think is there an argument that any of these other grade 8 positions should be a 9 if the librarian is? They're all gonna start doing the classification analysis in their brains. And they're all gonna be
No,
thinking,
the
well,
only
what does she
one,
do?
the only one that has come in over 400 is the librarian. The assessor, we didn't reconcile, unfortunately. The assessor, we have one that's under. We have two scores. April would get in different moods, I think. She has a 534 and I have a 411.
For which one? For the assessors?
A 500 would be a solid grade 9, but
So,
we're gonna go back through it because that, and just talk it through. We haven't talked it through.
Well, also it's learning to use this tool. You know, there's a learning curve, so that, you know, sort of understanding how the nuances takes time.
Yeah, and the supervision scope is really wacky, and that's where 60 of the points are. 70 of
it should be a high one. Supervising staff is between the staffing she has to do and of course the human resource side, managing, motivating.
No,
Um,
it's the admin assessor that's screwy. That's what really off. And he has very little he only has one employee.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So am I safe? Is it safe to say that the department heads would all be grade 9s?
No, grade 10s.
Oh, so when you make the argument that she's a department head, she's not even, she's 2 grades down.
From a department head, yep.
'Cause-
So I don't think making her more fairly paid instead of at the very bottom of the grade 8s, where she was, because it was the average,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an anomaly.
Okay. So.
So
we-
you don't have the correct numbers in here, George, for people. Right, because the town.
I didn't do the blues that you put in. No, I haven't done that.
Okay, so you
No,
have different numbers.
Yeah, I didn't really do anything with this early, you know, except change the 23 after you pointed it out. I was just bringing it up because in the conversation we were having, I
Yeah.
had the screen, so I wanted to show everybody. I thought it would be helpful for everybody to see that. But in
So
terms of what,
did you change the librarian to 2655? That's, I still had her at 2719, so I was trying to,
okay,
and you still, but you still have the assessor at 2719, right?
I'm not even going to save this, but
Okay,
what should the librarian be at? This is what I'm saving. What should the librarian be at?
well, that's
2655?
that's one grade down below from the assessor and the accountant.
But I thought we agreed on this one. We talked you down
Yes.
by 1 step.
One step, not grade, step.
Oh, sorry, yes. We talked you down by 1 step.
Yeah.
That's what we agreed on most recently.
And
And-
what about, and the assessor is staying at the higher?
Yeah, we didn't touch the assessor.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't fit into our logic. You know, in terms of number of years, you know, our librarian has been here for 15 years. And I know there's that other, you know, possibility of,
Yeah, see, I just lined him up with the same as the treasurer because they both started at the same time, but that makes no sense. There's no rationale to that,
right.
except for that time.
You know, salaries get negotiated and argued with employees and managers, and over time, things don't always align up. I realize we're public facing. I mean, you know, this is public information, so our justifications have to be a little more solid, but
Yeah.
we're giving him a nice increase. He's been working 2 years. He was happy working at the rate he was. I think this can cascade into a lot of changes, and we should just, given where we are in time, I just don't want to keep messing around with all these.
Got it. So we've
That's
got
my
the
2 cents.
librarian, which was, we're making a big correction. Significant correction. And then we have the um,
Equipment operators.
Yeah.
equipment operator, which actually turned out to be a little bit of a reduction.
Yes,
And
yeah,
with the assessor and the treasurer, where the market analysis and the steps are bringing those positions up higher. With the librarian, the market analysis kept it pretty much the same with very little change, but making her position within the grade 8. Is this making sense?
No,
Hmm.
not yet.
No, but I'm
keep
almost there.
trying.
I'm
Yeah.
almost there. I'm almost there. You know, it's sort of those three positions it's the confluence of the market analysis, which puts treasurers and assessors at a higher rate generally than librarians. And we're bringing the librarian up within our system because of where that position is as a grade, not just the market analysis. I don't think that's quite making, I know what I'm trying to say, but there's a
April, I
rationale.
totally get it. I hate to tell you this, when you turn 70, it starts happening. It gets worse
Uh-oh.
when you're
Gotta be more
75.
But I know what I'm trying to say.
You
Don't
know
let
what
that
you're
stop you
trying
from
to
turning
say, and the
70,
words
April.
just don't come out as fast as they should. I totally get it.
I think that started before 70. I'm
These
not
other
70,
children.
and it's happening.
These other children don't understand, do they, Peg?
Oh, they don't get it. It gets worse, George.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But I know what I'm trying to say, but
Yeah.
but it's okay. I've justified it. I get it.
So Becky, we're going to talk to the finance committee about this tomorrow, and when would the select board be involved? Or should we try to convene all three at the same time,
Select board is meeting tomorrow.
as are we?
Um,
Are
I'll
we?
The
Yeah.
FinCom, are you saying?
Yes,
George?
tomorrow night. We're meeting tomorrow night, yes.
And we're meeting from 5 to 6:30 because Rita was sick last week, so we canceled and rescheduled. So there could be a great opportunity to overlap right at 6:30. I'll call Jim Walton and see if he wants to, I'll talk to Rita and Jim Walton and see if that works for them. And if you'll update this sheet so you're comfortable, and I'll send you this sheet.
Okay, yeah, I think
just so you
what
can
we're
double
looking at on
check
the screen
yours.
here is done. I just need to show the changes for these two from what we showed last time that add up to the 6190.
All right, I can give you the math. Do you have it? So that one was 4211 minus 3926.
4211. What are you giving me?
No, not the librarian, the equipment operator. You
Okay.
can't see my fingers. I keep pointing at it.
Okay, tell me about the
Sorry.
librarian. So the librarian then is like $6,400.
So the librarian was at 2493. So if you take the 8968 minus 2493. 8968 minus 2493.
Yep, okay, and these two combined, I'll clean this up for when I bring it up on the screen tomorrow. It comes close. It's not
Except the
exact.
285 is a minus.
Minus, yep, got it.
And Becky, why was librarian 6475 minus 280 something? What was the minus for the
Okay,
librarian?
so right now George has the librarian increase at 8,968.
Uh-huh.
So we subtracted her base from last time, which was 2,493.
Her base.
That was her change last time. So we're saying
Okay,
the
okay,
increase,
yeah.
the increase of our request is $6,190.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll wing it. We'll come up with something good tomorrow and explain this. We are asking for an additional $6,200 in next year's budget primarily for the librarian.
Mhm.
Because of the classification analysis, we'll all be there. We all know what to say. We'll
Yeah, and
drop the
start with-
sexism card as our last resort. If
Well,
it's
you
not
said
going
a
well.
beautiful, you did say we made a mistake.
Right.
I think that's a good opener.
And
Well,
we're reconciling our grade system with the market analysis. That's what this is.
So I don't think you really meant that, we didn't make a mistake. It's just that when we reviewed it against our classification salary chart, you know, the fact that it was so much lower than everyone else for a grade 8, and then when we looked at the classification, she's actually coming in at the top and going to a grade 9.
and we realized, it didn't, the alarm bells didn't ring with us when we were looking at this schedule, that the number we had for her was so much lower than all these other ones because we were looking at the market. But when you look at equity within the town, inequity based on responsibilities as measured by the classification schedule, she clearly was far too low.
Yeah,
I mean, we did make a mistake with the equipment operator number 2, but it turns out that that benefits us.
right.
But for equipment, for the librarian, when we started this classification analysis, it revealed something we hadn't thought about when we did the market analysis.
Exactly.
It's a good way of saying it.
Yeah, I hope I remember that tomorrow night.
Yes.
Between the 4 of us, one of us will, right? Well, wait, no, the 2 older
No,
people
this,
won't.
Not the 70-year-old.
Yeah, that's right. They don't even know.
75-year-olds,
Up to us,
you gotta be under 70 to do this.
Okay.
oh my God.
All righty.
Well, this sounds
All right.
good.
So
So-
that means we have another meeting tomorrow night, correct?
At 6:30.
And it's
Yeah,
not
Becky, you should,
posted.
I was gonna say, Becky, you should probably send us a notice just to confirm.
Yes.
But it won't be an official meeting because it won't be posted in time.
So George will be taught, right.
Yeah, Personnel Board has already done their job.
Why don't we vote it tonight so we have it voted?
Yes, and then we'll tell everybody, we've already approved these. We're
Yes.
waiting on you.
Yeah,
Right.
So we already voted for one. We approved, I guess not. Okay,
No, we almost did. We were about to.
yeah, you
right.
got off.
So
So
I
we're-
move that we approve the changes to our original proposal, increasing, adding an increased salary to, correcting the salary, proposed salary for the librarian
Period.
and equipment operators number 1 and 2.
Just number 2.
And what, say that again, equipment operator, what, April?
Number 1, operators number 1 and number 2.
Only number 2.
Only number 2. We've already done number 1, number
Right.
2.
I second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Have a nice night.
Ross, aye.
Stein, aye.
The motion carries.
All right. See you tomorrow. I'll miss you.
So when's your birthday? What's the actual day?
420.
Oh, whoa, celebration time.
Oh,
It's
wait.
like-
big one, April.
Mm,
You know, you always hear 60s are the new 50s. Well,
no,
70s are not the new 60s.
no, 70s are the new 70s, right?
Yeah, 70s
Yeah.
are just about the 70s.
Yes.
Guys, look at, you got to see my picture of my grandson just drew. Can you guys
Oh.
see that?
Not really well.
The baby.
Yeah, because I got control of the screen. Let me give up the
Take
screen.
that screen
Hold
down.
on, give me 1 second and you'll have it. I can't find my
Maybe-
mouse here.
Well, I'm expanding you. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Well, I didn't give up the screen. and I
But you
can't-
can minimize the screen share.
oh, there
Pull it over to the left.
Try it now,
There you
Becky.
Let me see the boo-boo.
Oh,
Yeah, do it now, Becky.
Oh, do it again.
oh, it keeps getting white. Can you see?
Yeah,
Oh my
Yes.
God.
It's Baby Yoda, but it's a
Yeah,
pretty
Baby
good
Yoda.
drawing. Can you see the feet?
That is
Yeah, it is.
grandpa's drawing, artistic
Marshall,
ability.
and that's-
Got his
that's-
colors right.
He got his colors and he got most of it right. You can't really see, but he even got the feet right.
That's,
So how old is he, Becky?
that's
That's
great.
46.
Well, I have some news. Our grandson out in Colorado, who turned 2, broke his femur about 6 weeks ago, and
Oh,
he has been in what's called a spica cast for almost 6 weeks, and it's coming off on Wednesday.
yay.
Oh, his poor
Yeah,
parents.
it's one of those casts that starts at your ankle, goes up your leg, goes up to your chest,
Oh, my God.
and he's in diapers.
That was where my mind went.
Oh, my God.
It is, and this is he's 2 years and a couple months. So how do you explain that to, I mean, they've been through a lot, and they're
Oh,
both
my
teachers,
God.
they both have to work, and they both took it's been a long process, but it's going to be over soon if the healing happened. So don't let anybody break their femurs when they're 2.
Wow.
Okay. I
Don't pull
promise.
that chair out from under them.
Yeah, look up spica cast. It's very interesting. I think
Ask
it's,
my wife, she'll know.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. She will know.
Marty will know. All right.
Okay, we're all
Sure.
set.
Well, thank you, everybody. And I'll try to I'll set that up tomorrow. I'm not gonna call them at home at 8 o'clock.
Okay, but you'll send an email, Becky, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Tomorrow morning after
Are we
8.
still meeting on the 21st?
Yes,
Okay. And Becky, do you have a minute?
yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Adios. Me too.
Bye,
See you tomorrow.
guys.
Good night.
Good night.